the thing that will almost always be at the front of your mind as a budding entrepreneur will be the need for money. Whether it's a little bit of cash to get you started, ongoing money that's needed for lubrication of the business engine, or money for the rocket fuel to fund that explosive growth. Entrepreneurs should be aware that money and access to it is going to play a big role in their business journey. Capital, as it's known, is the money you've got available to start your business and get it up and running. And in this episode, we're going to cover a few things. In particular, the different types of capital, the different sources of capital, and how to go about finding or raising capital. So we're going to start by taking a closer look at the different types of capital. And broadly speaking, there are two different types: equity capital and debt capital. Equity capital is money invested into your business by an investor, which gives that investor 1. A share of your business, 2. The right to receive a percentage of the business profits in the future, and 3. Because they'll have a share of your business, they'll also get a percentage of the company's value if it's ever sold. Such an investor is investing into your business in the hope that it makes them a good financial return and maybe even for another purpose. Let's have a look at a quick example with Jameson. If an investor invests £50 into Jameson's business and they agree a valuation of the business of £250, the maths would mean that for that £50 of investment, the investor would get 20% of Jameson's business. And Jameson doesn't quite know if that's a good deal or not. The good thing with equity capital is that whilst you will need to pay your investors a percentage of the profits if the business does well, if your business does badly, you won't have contracted to paying them anything. And that is a major advantage to equity as opposed to debt. There's no commitments to paying your investors back if you're having a hard time and if things don't go to plan. And yes, your investor will be delighted with a percentage of your business if the business goes well and it's flying. But it's not too painful for you if your business doesn't go to plan. The second type of capital we were talking about is debt capital, and it's very different to the equity capital that we've just spoken about. Debt capital is money that is effectively loaned into your business by an investor or a bank, and whilst debt capital is really good insofar as you're not going to give the investor a share of your business, it does come with a big downside that it's treated as borrowed money. So at some stage, it will need to be paid back, and normally with a lot of extra money called interest. So the positive thing with debt is you're not giving up a percentage of your business. But the major downside with debt is you're going to have to pay it back, plus interest, whether your business is going well or not. And paying that money back in hard times can sometimes be difficult, and that's one of the major problems with debt. So there we have it, equity capital and debt capital, the two main types of capital. So when you're out there trying to get money invested or loaned into your business, you should already be thinking of whether the money you're going to be getting will be treated as equity, in which case you'll give a share of the business away, or debt, which will be money that the business is effectively borrowing.
Myself and my dad went to this gentleman and said, look, we've got this lovely business here that's looking to be sold. Would you put in the money to buy the business, and we will run the business and try to grow your money? So he might have put in a small amount of money, and we promised him that if he put in this money and believed in us, we would grow the business and repay him his money back and then give him some on top. Standing here today, we've repaid some of his money, given him some of his money on top, and that's how we've managed to get involved with Lola. So I didn't have the money myself to buy the business. I found outside investment to help with that, and it's a great way of getting involved in the business.
I'm fortunate enough not to have to raise capital as of yet, but to grow the business and expand, we are gonna do that this year.
We raised an angel round through my network of people that believed in me and believed in the product we were building.
We seeded the business at the beginning with about £10,000 worth of savings, but then since then we've done 3 rounds of crowdfunding.
When we started out, my business partner and I, we took on what's called a startup loan, which is a great way to get some initial capital injection into the business.
So the first bit of capital that we raised for the business was really through existing shareholders. So me and my partner mainly, put a small amount of money in. But the first time that we raised external capital was via a venture capital firm in the US after an extensive period of pitching.
So we first raised capital for our business through a small loan from friends and family, which then evolved into a crowdfunding equity investment round.
Looking for money as an entrepreneur new to the scene can be a really tough place to be. And these are the 4 places we think you should begin with. First, there's your own money. You may have nothing in your piggy bank and 0 savings, like most people frankly. But if you do have access to some cash, it could be money that you may choose to put into your business to get it started. But be super careful and don't put too much of your own money into your business. And as a rule of thumb, you should only ever put money into your business that you can afford to lose. Second on the list of the relatively easy places to find money is the group that's often known as friends and family. A few young entrepreneurs are fortunate enough to know others who are able to support them financially with their business from the start. And whether it be family or friends, they're a recognised source of money for small businesses. So do be sure to knock on the right doors with the right business plan when the time is right. But do be cautious getting money from friends and family. Mixing your business life with your social life can cause stress if things don't go to plan. If you end up losing the money that people invested, it could seriously impact on your relationships with your nearest and dearest. Third on our list is business plan competitions. Business competitions are often cited as the best way to get money to start. And in saying that, we've got to remind you of the amazing business plan competition that we run here at the YEA, along with the UCL School of Management, one of the best business schools in the entire world. There's over £2,000 of prize money available in that competition alone. And finally, our 4th relatively easy way to secure some money for your new business venture, and a way that people don't often think about, is by what is known as product pre-sales. Let's look at Elijah's business for a quick example here. So imagine Elijah's mum didn't have the money to invest in his business in the first place, and Elijah needed £50 to buy the shampoo and wax in order to get started. What Elijah could have done is pre-sold some car washes to customers who would have paid him in advance, and for the £50 he would have received, he would have had the money to buy his shampoo day one. That would be known as a product pre-sale. Selling products and services early on in your business life with the intention of having your customers pay in advance is a well-used way of funding your startup business.
The more ambitious amongst you will need to not only look in the relatively easy places for money, but also further afield in a more extensive search. And this topic of raising capital is covered in a huge amount of detail in a later series, but we thought it'd be helpful to give you a brief awareness of these other places where money can be found, as it's never too early to start making contacts and knocking on doors. So here's our extended list of another 5 other places where you may be able to find money for your business. Angel investors are typically experienced former business people that want to get back into a small business as either a hobby, to support another person, or even to make a financial return. Angels are often investing in small businesses and backing ideas that they like. And there are lots and lots of angel networks, and most of them can be found online. Crowdfunding is point number 2 on the list, and something that many of you would have already heard about. Crowdfunding is about putting your business plan online for loads of other people to see, having them review it, and decide whether or not they want to invest in it. Crowdfunding is increasingly popular with young entrepreneurs, and sites such as Crowdcube or Seedrs allow you to upload your business plan with the hope of getting a large number of small investors, the crowd, to invest their hard-earned money into your business at a valuation that you will have set. Point number 3 on our list is venture capital or private equity, and it's the term used for money being put into your business by professional investors. These people spend their lives assessing businesses and trying to find the best of the best to invest in. Venture capital or private equity is normally for the more experienced entrepreneur and normally for bigger businesses, but it's certainly another place where entrepreneurs find money, so it should definitely be here on this list. Number 4 is banks, and as many of you will have guessed, banks can be a great source of money if your business is of a suitable size and you got a good story to tell. But as you can imagine, banks typically provide debt and not equity, so you do need to be careful about not borrowing too much and think of the risks that could be involved with that. And finally on the list, there's money available from what are called grants or bursaries. These are normally provided by the government, the local authority, or even some wealthy business people, and they're given to businesses selectively based on a range of criteria which vary from grant to grant. In some circumstances, grants don't even need to be repaid, so they should definitely be explored by young entrepreneurs. At this stage in your business lives, you just need to be aware that money sometimes represents a big challenge. You have to plan properly and make sure you've got some ideas about how you'll go about raising it.
I think ultimately it's all about creating FOMO and almost building enough leverage where you have investors calling you up asking if they can put money into your business, as opposed to you trying to ask for money from them. Ultimately that is super hard to get to, but if you can get to that, that is almost the gold mine of raising money.
My biggest advice would be you can never be well enough prepared, and don't be over ambitious with the valuation of your business.
I think anybody looking to do a raise for the first time, preparation, planning, make sure that you believe in the numbers, what you're presenting, make sure that you have answers for everything what you can be asked within your presentation, speak with confidence, and speak in such a way that you engage the parties who you're looking to raise the funds from.
Well, I think the first thing you need to do is have a great business plan written down, something that you can share with people. All well and good being able to tell people, but you want people to be able to share that idea with people that they may know that you might not know. So I think great business plan, make it very easy for someone to digest and look at, and be something that could be sent to lots and lots of people. The more people that see your business plan, the more people that see your idea, the better. And try, if you can, in some way, to have sold the product or made the product, whether it's a prototype or you've tried it, try to get some customer opinion or feedback. So I think anything that can help an investor understand more about your business or idea, the better.
If you're looking to raise for the first time, my advice would be to go out and learn as much as you can, and that's by meeting investors. So even if you feel you're not ready yet, don't be the perfectionist. Go out, have conversations, and learn through the process.
So make it easy for your friends and family to understand your business model, and make it very easy for them to understand the opportunity, and then that will help you raise that initial funding.
Make sure you have a really solid plan that's tested. Make sure that you've got a great advisor, whether it's a corporate finance advisor or someone who's been through the process. It's a very specific process, and the more people that you have around you or speak to or know who've gone through that process successfully, the better.
And whilst we're going to cover the topic of raising capital in another YEA series, for now, we're going to guide you through the 4 basic steps at a lightning pace, the 4 key stages of raising money. And the first stage is preparation. Preparation of your business plan is absolutely critical before you start looking for money. And this is where the business plan you may well be currently working on comes in. Make sure you're ready to show potential investors what your business is all about. And doing that properly will mean you'd probably tick the box for preparing yourself and stage 1. Stage 2 involves putting together a formal list of which investors you want to approach. You want to speak to as broad an audience as possible, so build a list with all the people and organisations that you want to reach out to, as this is super important. Do you remember Auntie Anne's boyfriend, who you spoke to at a birthday party, and he was seriously interested in what you were doing in your business? What about him? Think as broadly as you can, because the bigger that list is of people you can approach, the better your chances of raising some money. And once you've finished your business plan, and you've got a list of who to approach, you move on to stage 3, and that's where the real fun begins. Stage 3 is about making the approaches themselves, approaching the investors with the business plan to see if there's an interest in putting some money into your business. Call them, email them, reach out to them on social media, maybe even send a handwritten letter. Either way, your communication to them should be polite and clear, as it's always the first impressions that really do count. Explain you're starting a business. Explain you're seeking funding. And you'll be amazed how many people actually want to support young entrepreneurs getting into business for the very first time. Tell them what you're doing with the Young Entrepreneurs Academy and UCL School of Management. Tell them you want to try and grow your business. The aim of these approaches is to get these investors to take a look at your business plan. And a handy tip, even if they say no, that they're not interested in investing, is to ask them to have a look at your plan and see if they can share any tips or ideas. In such a way, you may be appealing to their more caring side, and you never know where this could lead from an investment perspective. And finally, once you've spoken and introduced your business to potential investors, and once they've read your plan, and arguably the most important part of the whole process begins, the step of negotiating. Negotiating to ensure that you not only get the right amount of money, but also that you don't give away too much of your business to begin with. Negotiation takes experience, but keep it simple to begin with. Your starting point should be asking investors for a fixed amount of money and then letting them revert as to whether they want to invest the money as equity or lend the money as debt. And then you can explain what the timescales are. Have your business plan to hand when you're negotiating, and make sure you do all you can to sound sensible and to the point on the exciting parts of your business. Identifying both sources of money and how to raise money may be things that take up a lot of your time as your business grows. You'll gain skills each and every time you try and raise money, so don't think of it as daunting and look forward to the challenge of securing investment.
I think you should have a support system. I think you should have a network of like-minded people, maybe other entrepreneurs who you can go to and confide in and vent to.
I definitely recommend getting a mentor in the early stages, someone you really trust and believe in that can really help you out in the long term as well.
Are really knowledgeable people who know exactly what to do when you don't. So use them, work with them, find the right fit for you, but yeah, you don't have to do it on your own.
I'd recommend a young entrepreneur to go to another entrepreneur who's been through the process themselves. Someone who's built a business of their own, it's best to go to for support, even if they're not necessarily in the same industries.
To giving advice to young entrepreneurs is to connect with business owners who are like-minded and can help you on that journey.
Friends and family, a very, very big start. You know, go and ask people you know for perhaps advice. There are mentors out there that will specifically help you on certain topics or objectives, specialists in marketing, specialists in accounting. And then obviously you have the Young Entrepreneurs Academy website. It's got lots of information and ideas and resources for you to learn from, you know, go away and think about. So hopefully there's a couple of areas that you can have a look at yourself.
now that you've finished episode 14, you can move on to episode 15, where we're going to cover growth and external factors.